Hey BC, it's me Roger back with another video in just a couple days. How y'all doing? Cheers. Been a while since I did a vinyl update. As I said in my last video, I broke my vinyl diet. I went over a month. It's pretty good. And I kind of cheated. Well, I didn't really cheat. I traded some records. But I kind of had to. I couldn't play them because part of the reason why I went on a vinyl diet was because my cartridge on my turntable was dying and I had to replace it and I wanted to upgrade it, and so I did that. Now I'm in vinyl heaven. So yeah, I traded some records and I bought a few. So I've got quite a stack here to show, and I'm just gonna jump right into it because that's why you're here, right? Alright, in the background we're listening to Nils Frahm. The album's called Felt from 2011 on Erased Tapes. I kind of got this on a whim because I had some trade money, and I quite like it. It's beautiful. I like the story of it, where he couldn't really practice at night in his apartment in London, I guess, and because it would disturb the neighbors. So he came up with various ways to dampen the strings by putting felt, for instance, on the strings. And it created, kind of an interesting prepared piano sound. And so he started recording these little quiet pieces on his piano at home, and that's what this is. So it's kind of minimalist, kind of new age tinge, maybe, I don't know. Cool stuff. Is it too loud? Maybe. Yeah, well, you can hear for yourself what you think about that. Pre-ordered this, of course. Higgins' new album, Myths, Realities, on a partnership between In Fact and Greece and DVH Recordings at number 29 of 150. You can see that. This is the US blue version. And it's signed by Derek. It's a beautiful splatter color. Yeah, thanks for signing it, man. Yeah, what is there to say? Lots of people have been showing this, and apparently it's sold out, so it doesn't need me pumping for it. Cool stuff. Like the guitar playing. Considering it's archival material, it flows really nicely. Great job, Derek. Cool stuff. Here's a record I went out and bought the day it came out a few weeks ago because I had to have it. This is General Rourke's new album on Drag City, Simple Songs. I'm going to take it out of here. It's hard. This was, what do I know, but I was not expecting this at all. This is his first sort of pop art rock oriented record in a long time, and he sings on it, and it has a beautiful, really glossy cover with the spot varnish. What is there to say? I think he's a genius. I've been a fan back since Gastro del Sol in the 80s and early 90s, and his work with Wilco and Sonic Youth, and he's an interesting composer and done a lot of film work, and he was the music director on the School of Rock, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, and so when he left Sonic Youth, he moved to Japan and was like not gonna play rock music anymore. He's been doing avant-garde stuff in Japan. And this is made with Japanese musicians, unlike those other records he made on Drag City, which were made with Chicago folks mostly. These are all Japanese cohorts. I don't know what to say. I think he's a genius. Fantano said he didn't emote enough for him on his vocals. Well, whatever. Maybe not for everybody, but if you're into, rock music, pop music with brains and great musicianship, it's great. That's all I'm going to say about that. Cheers. Forgive me if I go too fast. I don't want to waste people's time. Here's the new Whitehills, which I also insisted on getting around the time it came out, a little later. Walks with Motorists. That is a terrible, terrible cover. Although these lines are spot varnished for whatever that's worth, and it's colored vinyl. But, I really like the Whitehills. I like what they're up to with this kind of heavy psychedelic sound they have. But they kind of make the same record over and over and over again, and I have 10 of them or something like that, maybe a dozen. And at this point, especially if the covers are going to be this bad, I'm starting to feel like I don't know if I need any more Whitehills records. Maybe that's not fair. I don't know. They do what they do really well. I bet they're great live. I think Sonic Mainliner, didn't you see them in London last year or something? Next, I picked up Vashti Bunyan's Heart Leap. Her first record since that one record she made in 1970. This is on Di Cristina. They reissued that one too. I can't remember now what it's called. Beautiful psych folk record, as is this. Really nice gatefold, not expensive either at all. Like their cover. Yeah, I know that the Animal Collective folks kind of, I don't know if they rediscovered her, but they got her to record that little EP with them. And anyway, it's as if she never left. This is beautiful, beautiful psychedelic folk record. Beautiful. Vashti Bunyan, Heart Leap. Highly recommended. Came out last year, I think. I showed this in my last video, but this is my vinyl update, so I'm going to show it quickly here. The Kingston Springs Suite. Check my last video, I talk all about it. Country concept record about the little town I live in here in Tennessee. Pretty cool. Just came out last week. Moving on. Sorry, hot today. I'm thirsty. Alright, here's a good one. Some of you may remember my record store day or day after record store day video where I had found some dual planet things and was like, yeah man, if I can find more dual planet stuff, I'm gonna snap it up. And so particularly there was a previous volume of Eric Sadé that I was like, oh, I gotta have that. So I found it at Grimey's, the Ultrasonic Perception of Eric Sadé. Eerie Electroacoustic Atomic Age Stock Music, a collection of rare library 78s which soundtrack the early 1960s Doctor Who television series. So yeah, there are a bunch of, relatively short, library music snippets, mostly made on, Moog, and you think about how much work went into making these little snippets of music back then. It was like there was no digital editing, there was no, everything was programmed by hand. Really brilliant stuff. It's kind of weird to listen to as an album, but really happy to have a great companion to that other volume, which is more library music stuff. Yeah, great cover too. Ultrasonic Perception of Eric Sadé. Really nice. Really excited to have that. This may surprise some of you, but I had to pick it up. Alabama Shakes, new record, Sound and Color. Yeah, double album on ATL. What to say about these guys? I thought that song "Hold On" was great, single. I didn't think their album really did much. They were like a, good bar band kind of. Was the vibe I got from them. But they've been, touring steadily and apparently, getting their songwriting together. And they went to a real studio this time, and I forget who produced this, but it's got some real, it sounds like a record. That other, their first album sounded like a demo, which I guess it was actually, but. So their sound's more fleshed out here, and the songwriting is a little more interesting and varied, and I think they're moving away from that bar band sound, the bar band thing, and coming up with their own sound. I dig this. Wife digs it. I like pop music. I like good pop music. This is not pop music. Merzbow with, how do you say his name? Ballas Pandi, Mats Gustafsson and Thurston Moore. Cuts of Guilt, Cuts Deeper. Wild cover there. Yeah, double album gatefold on Rare Noise. British label. Yeah, this is sick. Takes a little while for them to get going, but by side 3, boy, it's really something. Kind of hard to tell who's doing what sometimes, with everybody's got electronics going. But yeah, this is great. I love this kind of stuff. This label, Rare Noise, has been doing a lot of cool stuff. I haven't been getting them because I don't see them. I guess I'm gonna have to order them. Kind of pricey. But yeah, some Joe Morris things, and Leo Smith did something for them. Anyway, Merzbow, awesome. Here's some metal. Minx, city in Russia, right? The Crash and the Draw. Yeah, this is brand new on Relapse. Double album. I really like this a lot. Turns out these guys have been around a long time. This is their first record since like a long time, many years. And I was so impressed with this that I went and checked out their previous catalog. And I gotta say, this is a huge step forward for these guys. This is that super ambitious, art doom, prog metal sludge. I don't even know. There's some screaming, there's some clean singing, there's some beautiful harmonies and some moving contrapuntal kind of things going on, and but really ambitious music and all over the place stylistically. Very beautiful sometimes and crushingly heavy at other times. I really dig this. Maybe it's just my inner teenager, but yeah, this is good. Good. A bunch of reissues. Hope this doesn't get too long. Hang with me, folks. Yeah, I had all this credit, so I splurged on some reissues that I'd seen around. Marcos Valle, Vento Sul, originally on Odeon from 1972. And this is the Light in the Attic reissue. This cool Obi strip, I like that. A nice gatefold. Derek had shown this recently in a video. I was really raving about how great it was, and so I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna get this. Again, Light in the Attic stuff comes and goes, it seems to me. And yeah, this is excellent. He's singing in Portuguese, so I have no idea what's up. But it has, some of that sunshiny Brazilian pop sound, but also pretty psychedelic and interesting and progressive. Very, very cool. In the back here they have a bunch of his other records. I wonder if they're worth checking out. Anyway, beautiful, excellent. Universal's reissued DAngelo's catalog on LP, and since I didn't have Brown Sugar, I had to pick it up. Sounds great. They spread it out over 2 discs. Killer. What is there to say? This is brilliant. Here's another VC inspired purchase. A lot of folks have been showing this. And so I thought I'd grab it. The Tanner Suite by Lloyd, McNeil, and Marshall Hawkins. It was originally on sort of private press, Asha label, and this is a reissue on Universal Sound, which is a division of Soul Jazz, another British label. This is beautiful, beautiful. Just flute and bass, you might think, that's pretty Spartan, but man, killer. This guy has really incredible sound on the flute, just really deep and resonant tone, and great bass playing, and they're so in sync. Yeah, can't recommend this highly enough. This in itself is a limited edition of, I don't know, I think 1,000. Just came out this year. Highly, highly, highly recommended to you jazz fans, especially if you like the free stuff. And this is free, but impeccable. Great, 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 great stuff. I found this in the folk bins at Grammys. Well, this is not a folk record. Emerald Webb, I think this is maybe their first record, Dragon Wings and Wizard Tales, originally from '79. I'm not sure what label it first came out on. I know Chris Cole, JC68, has an original of this. I really like these guys. I've got a couple other records by them that are a little more in the new age vein. This is a weird record, weird electronics and flute and very proggy, and there's a little too much nightmarish synthy stuff going on here to be new age. Killer. I mean, it's much more like what the cover looks like. I don't know. Very cool. So this reissue is on Sebastian Speaks. It's not expensive. It sounds digital, but I'm not going to complain. Really, really cool record. I enjoyed this a lot. Again, since I had some credit, I thought, alright, here's another Record Store Day thing. I might as well grab while it's still around. Blue Mountain Eagle, they're self-titled. Originally on Atco. This is the Rhino Record Store Day reissue. Randy Fuller, wasn't he in The Birds, maybe? These guys, yeah. The cover doesn't look that promising. It's kind of cool in that 60s kind of thing, but it's from 1970. And some of these titles, Sweet Mama and Love Is Here, makes you think, I don't know. But musically, this is pretty killer. Not as like country rock as I was expecting. It's much more in that psychedelic 60s vibe. Very cool. Glad I grabbed it. Another VC fave that I finally just succumbed and bought the reissue. Serge Gainsbourg, Histoire de Melody Nelson. Kind of iconic cover there. By iconic, I mean weirdly disturbing and sexual at the same time. Light in the Attic reissue. Probably a repress too, I'm not sure. It's 2009. I guess Light in the Attic represses things. Then again, Grammys gets things in that are out of print. But yeah, no wonder this is a big VC fave. This is beautiful, great grooves, great. His speaking in French is very sexy. The way she's clutching that doll, though, I don't know how sexy that is. Anyway, cool record, nice gatefold, good sound, nice pressing, I thought. Great. Alright, that's it for new records. Man, 20 minutes. A lot of records. A lot of records. Thanks for hanging with me, folks. Okay. Didn't do a lot of digging over the past month or so, but found a couple things. Well, this was actually sitting on the wall that whole time at Grammys. Musica Electronica Viva, Leave the City. Original BYG Actuel from 1970. Yeah, it was not cheap, which I guess that's why it didn't sell, but more than fair price. It was a little dirty, but I cleaned up the cover and cleaned the record up. And again, Derek had talked about this record recently, and so finally I was like, I'd gotten my new cartridge and was like all excited about vinyl again. So I bought it, and it's awesome. As Derek said in a Facebook conversation we had, he said it's like, you know, being the sound of an ashram in the 60s. That's exactly what's going on here. It's not wild electronics like the other Mev stuff I've heard. It's like some electronics, yeah, but some acoustic guitar and chanting, chanting the Om and clinking finger cymbals, and it's wild. It's, yeah, really super happy to have. I mean, you just don't see, I don't see original Actuels ever, so glad I grabbed that. This is reissue, but it was used, so it was cheap, although I think it's out of print now. And another VC, I remember folks showing this a couple of years ago when I was first getting into the VC. Don Moreau, It's Time, originally released in 1977 on Sine Wave Records. Yeah, you folks know about this. So yeah, all vocal and instrumental parts performed by Don Moreau, and he plays like a whole battery of cool analog synthesizers and guitar, and yeah, again, I can understand why this is a big hit in the VC. Some funky instrumentals and stuff, some not so great vocals, really all over the place. There's some like kind of heavy rock things, some ballads. Yeah, this is a cool record. Something I bet Chris Cole has an original of, right? Just a couple more, folks. Speaking of Chris Cole, this is something I saw at Great Escape, I guess. Still in shrink wrap and pretty cheap, $5 or $6. And I immediately thought of Chris Cole. Here's Daybreak Limited. It's from 1981 on Deva Records. Now, I didn't recognize any of these players, but it had that, you know, private press fusion kind of vibe to it. And Deva's not private press, but it's a little label. I have some other kind of new agey record on Deva, like proggy fusion thing. Can't remember what it is, but so I kind of knew the label. You know, they look like pretty hep cats. It just looked like one of those things that, you know, Chris Cole would know about. So yeah, I picked it up, and yeah, it's great. It's cool. You know, even the vocals kind of work. They shouldn't. And speaking of bar bands earlier, they kind of have like a bar band, but like a lounge kind of. Their gig and working band kind of. They have that kind of vibe going here. You know, and back in the '80s, I guess you could still play this kind of music for a living. But they got some great ideas and great chops, and yeah, really beautiful record. Happy to have that. Last one. Here's one for Kevin, Dr. Strangely Strange, if you're watching. Hey, man. It's a beautiful day at Carnegie Hall. This is for Kevin because he got me to reconsider that first It's a Beautiful Day record that I never quite got into. And now I really dig these guys, and when I saw this completes, you know, my collection of their first run of records anyway. And this is really good for a live record from '72. The sound is really great, dynamic, full, and they jam. They were a killer live band. And hell, since I've already gone 25 minutes, I'm gonna pull this out and show the gatefold because it's terrible cover, right? I mean, it was 1972. But the inside gatefold is pretty cool. Yeah. Excellent. Alright, folks. Pretty good stack of vinyl there. A lot of inspiration from the VC. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye.